After that hard slog through the trails and swamps yesterday, carrying, of course, my pack with fuel and oil, food, and had a chainsaw in one hand. Traveling today out here just on a hike. Just my camera, sneakers, dry ground, maintained trail. You'd think this was a day off or something. I'm going to sneak out here and see what's going on Hawks Pond. I haven't been here in a few days. There doesn't appear to be anything going on, but these tamaracks over here in their October beauty are worth the walk. Beaver's been busy working over on this middle beaver dam. Cut off some nice young birch there, and he'll probably come back tonight and finish hauling this to his winter stash for a food supply. The beaver may like that birch bark, but I find this venison steaks, potatoes, and a little bowl of peaches much more to my liking as I get fortified here for a little evening walk. Before I go out for the walk, we're gonna review the apple tree that I showed you last spring, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like in the fall. As we had a mystery of what kind of apples are they. This apple tree grows at an old homestead. Been here for quite a while. I never really get by to see if there's any good apples on it. I have to make a point of doing that. I usually stop by here and looking more for birds and things over here enjoying this. When I stopped by in October, I was going to look and see if there's any apple remnants, and the whole tree was loaded with these little crab apples. I'm assuming that back in the homestead days that was a real apple tree, but what can sometimes happen is the grafted part on top will die off, and then the original crab tree will grow up out of the ground. And as I looked at the root structure of this tree, that's what I think happened for sure. The homestead was abandoned over 80 years ago, and I think that over that time the tree died off, and you see it kind of grew up out of the ground. You can imagine that long a time. The little stems down below on the tree took over, and we ended up reverting back to just a plain old crabapple tree. So the next obvious question is, what's wrong with that tree? What are all those holes on there? Well, that's why people don't like yellow-bellied sapsuckers on their ornamental fruit trees in their yards, because the yellow-bellied sapsucker comes through, especially in the spring, and he taps a hole, and he comes back later to enjoy the sap. Back in my favorite haunts again on the way back to the cabin. Thought I heard something. There's a red squirrel. But usually you don't hear or see too much down in this country. On the winter time when the deer move in, that's another story. We'll have the deer and the wolves on their trail. But for now, pretty quiet. I'll share the bad news that you got one more fall video next Saturday morning. And the good news is, it should be a week after that. Tune in on Saturday morning. There will be snow on the ground and the snow dog in action.